Kia ora, my name's Antonio, or Zinger, and today we've got Link versus Incineroar, which is obviously Hob versus Widdershun. The game score wasn't updated, but it was a free game set, 3-0 to Hob, but it was very interesting, and it was kept very competitive throughout all of the match. I've already seen the matches, and I've kind of gone through over them, so there's a few things that kind of like going into this I want to kind of call out, and that's going to be reactions versus preemptiveness. The kind of the zona neutral triangle, so to speak. Positioning, movement, and then finally I think one of the more important parts is going to be stage picks, which I've got some things to say on because I know how you feel about that. But yeah, let's get into game one. So I think this jump here, it's very scary to do versus Incineroar, and in general, I'd use full hops very scarcely, unless you're the one, unless you can create a scenario where it's safe, which we'll go over later. But in general, I think a good rule of thumb is try keep your distance away from the air as Incineroar, especially, I mean, Link does have a good fast fall, of course, and he doesn't reach the air the slowest or anything. He doesn't reach the air peak very slow or anything, but he's still in danger of getting up air juggled into like a really good situation for Incineroar. And then another thing, for Incineroar specific counterplay, we're going to look at side B and Revenge, which I feel like you were actually playing pretty well against. You were getting a lot of reaction grabs, which was a lot, but here's what I'm going to start calling out, is I feel like a lot of these moves are kind of premeditated. So, the Nair into the double jump Nair, I could see that as being reaction, although I think it should have just been a grounded Nair, but I think what we're seeing a lot is that you've got options buffered after the next option. Even in like you're one to always act first, so to speak. Like you always start the interactions, which kind of works in the benefit of Incineroar, because I think that was just bad DI. Because Incineroar works best off of playing second to his opponent. Part of that is his core game plan mechanic of Revenge, and the other part is side B, right? Because he wants you to whiff, feel unsafe, and then shield, and then, get him to do a shield grab, right? So this sort of gameplay where you're initiating every scenario, it's a very dangerous, but rewarding one, right? Where if you do get in, you get extensions like this into the tech chase here, but if you don't, you kind of are going to eat a side B from Incineroar. So one thing to keep in mind is overextending and when to do it, and we'll cover that as well. One thing I kind of want to note is that with like Snake's similar to this sort of key. With zoners who can set up, items that are still active when you're active, like bomb bouncing or, snake nades, is that you're taking the risk of pulling out the bomb, or in Snake's case, pulling out the nade, to set up a scenario where it's risk less to wait, or where you force them to act first. And that was obviously a lot, but basically what I mean is that by pulling out nade, by pulling out bomb, by throwing out side B, you create a scenario where the next interaction is gonna be in your advantage, right? And the micro minigame in most matchups is that they have to shield it or catch you before you do it. Obviously, Incineroar has the added benefit of he can punish you for doing it, right? Which is where I think rolling nades and, for Link, rolling bombs are really good in the matchup. So, one thing I kind of want to look at is using side B and using bombs to create an opportunity for you to react, which I feel like you're not using right now, and you're using bomb and boomerang more so as opportunities to extend off of either a win or shield pressure. So anyway, let's focus more on the game. So you get a nice whiff, get a grab here. The bomb here, I think you could have done a little bit more. You did kind of just throw it down instantly. The ledge trap scenario here, you tried to call out a roll with F tilt. He's still in disadvantage. It's fine. One thing here is that you don't have to approach, right? So you're playing the corner, you're playing it center pretty well here. You're acting first a little bit, which is allowing him to evade, but you're not taking too many risks, which I think is good. That was a nice bomb drop. Now that's some criticism that I'm gonna throw out is with ledge traps, you kind of want to make sure that you're not acting first in pretty much all scenarios. Obviously the bomb was very close to hitting, but when it comes to ledge trapping, the beauty of ledge trapping and the reason why ledge trapping is so good is that it forces your opponent to act first, because if they wait, then, you know, they're going to fall off the ledge, right? They can't wait forever, and they're also going to lose intangibility, right? But if you do something like neutral B here, like this, my version of this is sometimes I'll like place a C4 or throw a nade for no reason, right? It kind of gives them a faster way to get back on the ledge. Like imagine if you just instantly, did you pull the bomb out earlier? Or was it you got the bomb and that's how you hit them over there, right? You did Z drop, yeah, okay. So if you just pulled the bomb here, right, thrown it up and then reset to neutral, you could have caught that whiff a lot sooner and been able to follow with an up air or like an up smash, right? And I'm projecting this because I'm assuming Link's got the tools to do that, right? I feel like that bow doesn't really achieve anything and it doesn't really force anything at that specific moment, right? It kind of just means that you give up a ledge trap, which I think is really, really a hard bargain versus Incineroar. Another thing is that I feel like you should be doing more short hops and also more spaced forward airs. Especially drifting back. I feel like you're always drifting forwards with your aerials, whether it's rising or landing. And I feel like if you were to drift back and use more forward airs, you would catch him whiffing side B more, and you'd just be a whole lot safer. Yeah, again, the bow there, it doesn't really force anything, you know what I mean? I mean, I guess it does force a jump, right? And from that, you could maybe punish the next option. But I don't think the release is quick enough to warrant something like that, right? Or at least, like, Link's options afterwards aren't that strong. I think, in general, you know, instead of looking for the bow there, he's at 166% already. I think it's better to just opt for, like, a nair or an up air, or if you want here, like, do a forward air, or just drop down the platform. He has to land on you, use shield, and then catch him doing either a down B or doing like an aerial, both with like an outer shield, right? Because the thing with Incineroar is that when he's landing, right, he's very susceptible to getting frame trapped. And the thing that you optimally, you want to shield flick and catch a parry option select. But if you want to take it to the base level, just hold shield and then react to what he does, because he can't punish the shield reliably. His best option would be jump, and that means he's given up jump. You know, he's given up his main resource against juggling. So in this sort of scenario, I would just sit down here and just shield. Wait for him to do something and catch him on it. But you did get this grab, which is nice. Although that DI was horrendous from him. I'm not a fan of that arrow, but it didn't do anything bad, I guess. Yeah, this airspace is pretty scary to play against. I feel like, I mean, it's like, he's a fast faller, but, you know, it's still very scary to go against. But either way, you're doing pretty well here. I feel like this is where spaced aerials would really help, because Hob is going to be a near bot most of the time. That's, like, Incineroar's best out of shield option. And instead of opting to do this, like, really far crossed up back here, I would say it would be better to either... Where did you start off from? I think it would almost be better to just do... Because you're doing forward momentum here again. I feel like if you just stand here, you do like a short hop, and then you do a spaced forward air, you should be able to beat out a lot of what Incineroar does. Incineroar's most common option out of getting shield pressures is if you're like away from him, like at around this distance, he'll throw out a side B to try catch you spot dodging, right? Or even F tilting, because Link F tilt isn't fast enough to deal with it. Or they'll do a nair if you're close enough, right? So I think as a general rule of thumb is that you should try pressure from a distance. You know, shield poke him down, force the mix-up. Sorry, force him to use more of his shield resource so it becomes less of a mix-up, right? I feel like the closer you get and, you know, the more cross-ups you do against Incineroar, the weaker it's going to be, because his outer shield is actually really good. And, I mean, this is really safe. Actually, hold on, what did you do? How the hell was that not? It's like -6, right? Oh, okay, you did another jump back here, that's why you got punished. Ah, interesting. Okay, so maybe back here could be pretty good. Okay, well that plays into the preemptiveness, I guess, actually. I feel like you're not playing around the setting up a reaction there. I mean, it is scary to kind of sit and shield, so I definitely understand that. But I think what can kind of make you a better player against Incineroar is using movement to your advantage. In general, I think it's better to run away from Incineroar than to hold shield. Dashback is going to leave you roughly the same vulnerable frames to side B as shield is going to be, right? Because shield's fastest option to, you know, avoid an attack is spot dodge, which becomes active on frame 3. You've got roughly 3 frames of dash before you kind of move. So in general, you're either spot dodging, which means that he might cover you, or at the worst, he'll cross you up and you won't be able to punish him. Or you just run away and then you get the whiff punish later. That was just a good play from Hob. Yeah, I'm not yeah, so I think this entire interaction was just kind of premeditated. Like, I mean, I'd like to see your input on it, but it does seem to me like, no, side B, neutral B, back air, forward air, right? You know, something Roy, right? I feel like, if you kind of took the time just to give yourself a little bit more time to react, you would get a lot more mileage off of him being in the air. And I wonder if that was premeditated as well. I think in general, maybe look to play a little bit more reactive. And it's kind of hard because zoners, they're not really built to be reactive, you know what I mean? Like, the kind of core gameplay loop of a zoner is that they've got a disjoint, they've got a projectile, they've got grounded moves or aerial moves that aren't really safe, but might have a little bit of range to it. So a lot of your play in general is going to be based on preemptive moves, right? But I feel like if you can set up scenarios like we talked about before with side B, you know, forcing a shield or a jump or a revenge, or maybe bomb. I really liked it when you were doing the slow bomb rolls a few weeks ago. I feel like those set up into allowing you to react to something. Chimps121, when I was learning Rivals of Aether, he coached me on this. When you do a move, like let's say you, like in the most extreme case, you ripped an F smash, right? You can use the end lag of that F smash not to buffer a move, but just to wait and react, right? Because if you do F smash and then you just immediately buffer an aerial afterwards, like all that time you're doing the F smash is irrelevant, right? Because you're just going to be doing an air afterwards, right? But if you do an F smash, you react to your opponent and then you do an air afterwards. You get the nair at the same exact time, but you also get to react to the opponent, right? Now, obviously that was an extreme case, but that plays into a lot of other stuff, like side B, bomb pull, especially. You're pulling the bomb here, you react to them landing there. You definitely reacted. You threw them, and then you bombed there, right? And then you did the dash there, and I feel like this forward air was a little bit too preemptive, although I guess you might have tried to catch him on the platform. Let me just see again. Yeah, you probably did. Okay, getting the grab. Got that on you, got the side B. Obviously that doesn't kill. Down tilt very scary here. Nice, that was a good reaction. I assume that was a reaction. Yeah, this jump, I feel like, I don't know, you kind of put yourself in fear of getting side B'd, you know? At kill percents, Incineroar loves side B'ing at this sort of range. Because another thing to keep in mind is that if you get hit, you're fucked. And if you don't, it's like fine for him, you know? Like, he can chill. But yeah, this airspace, that's scary to deal with. I'd feel more comfortable playing around short hop height than full hop height against Incineroar. I like that empty hop grab. That was nice. I like that grab. Yeah, I think these nairs were a bit too proactive. I feel like you could have just done up tilt or something and pressured the shield like that. But I mean, that's fine, obviously. I need to do an up tilt eventually. Nice shield. I like seeing that. And nice check chase. That was nice. Holding shield. Yeah, I would say just dash back. Whenever you whiff a move, I think dashing back is a lot better. His best commitment to it is dash attacking you. But honestly, if you can just use your ground movement to your advantage, you're going to avoid a lot of punishes. Because he has to side beat you, right? Or he has to dash attack you. He can't do like a rising nair. He can't do like a rising forward air. He's going to have to commit to that dash attack, in which then you can, you know, punish him with either like short hopping away or shielding. I feel like if you shield at all, usually, versus Incineroar, he's pretty much always got the advantage. Especially when he's got Revenge, because Revenge doesn't go on off shield, and it actually makes his attacks safer. Okay. I liked seeing a drift back aerial right there, and I feel like I'm going to hammer this in. I really would like to see more drift back forward air, because I think it's a pretty good... In Smash 4, it was really good, because the first hit was also a kill move, but I feel like it's still pretty good in Smash Ultimate, because it means that you're spacing back with a hitbox, and it's not that much lag. You also put yourself in scenarios where you can punish them pressing buttons out of shield. So one really common thing you could do is doing a nair on someone's shield and then F-tilting them, because that means that if they try to shield grab you, in the sense that you do a spaced nair, by the way, or a spaced forward air, if they try to shield grab you, you just go for the F-tilt and you beat them out. That's just food for thought, though. So shield, yep, and then side B. Let's see what would happen if you maybe ran back. Yeah, okay. So if you ran back, and I do this with Snake, so I know it works, you would have outspaced the dash grab. His dash grab, it's actually pretty slow, you know? Like, and by dash grab, I mean side B, sorry. Like, the side B's pretty slow. Snake is like what? Let's look at run speed. Run speed SSBU. So a thing I did with Snake is I just played in the corner, and I would dash back in and dash back out, and try to catch Hob doing side B, right? Going into Smash Ultimate, I want to look for the lowest run speed. So Link is at 1.55. Snake is at 1.59. Yeah, and then Sora's at 1.58. I've seen, yeah, Bowser Jr. is 1.56. I've seen, you know, all the relevant players who, you know, play their characters, even Goosey Boy. I've seen them all be able to do a run away or a dash away into a whiff punish against it. So when you see him opening his arms, just keep running and then go for the whiff punish. Obviously, Snake has dash attack. Sora has Nair, Ike has dash attack, fucking Bowser Jr. has whatever, but I feel like Link could probably do dash back up smash, if you wanted to go that route, or even F-tilt, try catch him, at the end frames of it. Because in general, you don't want to look at his animation when it comes to the grab, you want to look at the distance. So, let's look at Incineroar real quick. His side B animation, it's actually kind of weird because he still grabs even though his arms are closed, right? So looking at the end here, yeah, so his arms are closed and people think that it's over here, right? Or even when it's like here, it's like over. It's like, no, it doesn't. You have to look at the distance, right? And if you kind of look at the distance, you memorize the distance, and kind of like when you see him move that sort of speed, you kind of know that when he reaches that distance, then you can punish him. So that's how I personally punish it, and I think that's how you should look at it. Yeah, side B from corner, really common option. And again, I feel like you're acting first here, which kind of gives up the ledge trap, right? I know I've said it a lot, but in general, I think try to focus on being more reactive. I assume that was going to be like a back here or something like that. I feel like if you went just to here and kind of reacted, you would have been able to cover a lot. Because let's say you ran to roll spot, right? And you reacted, right? Worst case scenario, he does the side B and you react too slow. Best case scenario is that... Oh, sorry, like, you know... Best case scenario is that he side Bs, you F-tilt him. He grabs ledge, you have the ledge trap. He does like any... He waits on ledge, he falls off eventually. He does any other option, you've got all your ledge trap tools, right? I feel like jumping in the spot and then kind of going for the backer afterwards gives up that ledge trap, right? In general, due to his range, I feel like being here is the best. And it gives you a spot where you can actually dash back in and dash back out at a safer distance because of your long disjointed normals. And when he does grab the ledge, I'd like to see not just like, you know, throwing out a nair or throwing out like an F-tilt, but just like, what you could do is hold shield and then react to anything with a shield drop so you get an automatic parry. Or you could do like a nair drift back and then punish the opponent doing something else. I mean, ledge trapping is really deep, right? And obviously I really love it. But the general rule of thumb is that you want to act second unless they do a jump, in which you want to act first. Or, you know, react to them landing onto a platform, but, you know, that's the later afterwards. Yeah, again, preemptiveness. Again, that airspace, very scary. I think just short hopping is better. I like that. Good punish. Yeah, I'm fine with that, actually. I'm fine with that. Hold on. Because Incineroar's recovery is slow, so you still have, like, time to set up a ledge trap. And I'm actually fine with this. I actually quite like this. If he upbeat early, he would have died. And then you got you throw out side B, which was questionable, but then you got the up B there, which is good. So I like that. Although, just to keep in mind, you can just shield up B, and it's got a full second of end lag. So if you want, you could just shield it here, and then do an F smash. But I like it nonetheless. Good barrier. Good grab. Good grab again. Good grab again. Nice. Good sequence. And you were reacting that entire sequence, which I really like. Which I think I'd like to see more. Yeah, neutral is a bitch. Just roll out. I guess you were dead? Down. Rough. Obviously you delayed it, but... feel like you're barely getting out of this airspace that he's controlling, but nonetheless, you get the side B here, you grab the bomb back, you throw the bomb back, you jump here, you don't really cover yourself. You double jump again, you're not covering yourself again, he does the nair. God, he was like so close to hitting you, and I feel like that's a scary place to be. I feel like it'd be safer if you got the side B here, after that bow whiff, you grabbed the bomb, and then you kind of sat under here, right? Or you at least kind of were playing reactively under here. Yeah, that's another big win condition is catching you on the platforms here, so be definitely careful about that. Rough. Okay, final game. I feel like that was a waste doing the bomb there, the arrow there. I feel like you got him in a scuffle situation, and in those situations, getting a grab is really valuable. Yeah, like it's a little percent, but I feel like you could be setting up bomb there. Giving up a lot of stage there, getting put on the platform there. Into the side B. Good thing you avoided it. That's rough. Down B, instant. I feel like it's probably best to just throw it at him, and force him to react to something and feel scared about it, then to instantly explode it. But that's fine. Airspace. The neutral B caught you with the up smash. You fast fell down air into the forward air, did a dash back. Roll in. Hobbs really conditioned to doing neutral get up to punishing neutral get up rolls because he calls it the Zinger, because that's what I always do. So watch out for that. Do you roll in? No. You throw the bomb? Yeah. Oh no, you dropped the bomb. Oof, that's pretty unsafe. Okay, you got the nair. Acted first on the ledge trap again. So you kind of drop the ledge trap, because he's getting the jump on you on these ledge traps a lot. He's not forced to grab ledge a lot, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't think he's grabbed ledge for most of the set. So the more you whiff here, the more you allow him to jump back on here, which I feel like is something to look out for. So like whiffs not only include nair, but also include drawing your bow and throwing out side B, right? Like, unless it's a really linear recovery, most characters should be able to avoid it. I personally would have looked for an up smash at roll. I think that's something you could think about. I remember this part, is that you up smash someone's side B. That's pretty good, but I don't know if that's reliable. I think you took a bit too much of a risk by throwing that out. And I feel like in general, I think you should try scale your kill options more. Like, I guess up smash is the only thing that's going to kill here, but I feel like that's kind of only a thing you should do is if they're pressuring you on shield. I feel like what's more valuable here is kind of throwing out safe nairs or retreating forward airs, because at this percent, retreating forward airs become very valuable because they send into either an edge guard situation or a ledge trap scenario, right? Throwing out like an up smash is less reliable because you're also at 185. So if you were off on this up smash by a little bit, you were dead, right? But thankfully you did hit it. And how do you deal with this advantage state? So you're jumping a lot. I feel like giving him the advantage to kind of act, but you're still not getting hit, which is nice. Still jumping a lot. I feel like you're giving him too much comfort, and I feel like being more grounded, dashing in and out would help you a bit. And by grounded, I also include short hops in that, because that means that you kind of still can be a little bit more mobile as Link needs to be. But then he kind of gets this advantage state for you hopping around. I guess he does another now? No, probably not. Good ledge reversal. And then the classic. Yeah, don't bother approaching Incineroar, honestly, when you're advantage state, because that's what he always does, is he gets reversals and he wants you to act first. So whenever you get a lead, especially stock lead, just don't bother approaching and kind of play second. The only counter to play to that is if they start overcommitting with side Bs or forward airs, in which you can still play second, but you have to play second differently, where you have to consider air-to-airing his jumps more, and preemptively covering side Bs with like other F tilts or movements. But yeah. Okay. What happened to the bomb roll? Because I remember you were doing the slow bomb roll before, and I really liked seeing that, but I don't know if you've done it this game. Good grab. I like that you're grabbing when he's revenge spamming. Oof. Good drift back. Yeah, that was way too aggressive. And I'm not sure if that was preemptive, but that's where I think you should be using like a spaced forward air instead of a rising forward air, because that's just inviting a shield grab, you know what I mean? Or even a nair. Yeah, and that preemptive double jump nair kind of paved the way for that rising forward air. Okay, you got the side B there. I think you jumped and you got caught, but up you had a shield. Oof, that's a huge risk to take at that spot. I don't even know if that kills at that percent. Oof, yeah, more of these risks are coming out, and I feel like you're putting yourself in a lot of danger. And what happens here? I think he punishes you jumping here, right? Unless I assume it's a jump. Yeah, okay, it is a jump. Yeah, that's one of his biggest kill conditions, is so he wants to get the side B here or here. That's another thing I'm gonna bring up is I know that you don't really like banning stages, but I think you should start doing it, because I personally don't want to take Hob to small battlefield. The reason why is because this is really close to boxing. This corner really allows him to ledge trap, and these two platforms cover the entire platform when it comes to side being, especially because they're short enough to where if he whiffs, he just falls off stage, right? And it's fine. So I think in general, I would try to avoid letting him go on the stage, and just banning this stage and Smashville. I think you should try find what stages work best in the matchup, and it will take some experience. Like Snake's best stage is Smashville, and I sucked on Smashville like for so long, like I couldn't figure it out why. But then eventually it clicked, and I started destroying people on Smashville, and people who took me to Smashville, like I would just like incinerate, right? And so I think you should kind of take the same philosophy and practice a bit on other stages. Just thinking it off the dome, like I feel like FD you probably don't want to take, because the more linear the stage layout, the better it is for Incineroar. But something like PS2 I think is good. Oh, but you only have 2 bans. Fuck. No, you have to leave SBF open actually. Hmm. But you don't have to pick SBF again. Which I think is the big point. And if he allows you to go on like PS2 or trying to think of another stage, Battlefield's pretty good for him. Hollow Bastion, that's pretty good, I think, because the platform's a little too big actually, so he won't be able to get a guaranteed side B, and there's also a lot of space on the side platform, so he can't call out your jumps as consistently as he can here. Nor your corner options. But yeah, just have a play around with it. I highly, highly advise it, because I think it's only a net positive to learn what stages you like versus other players. Because Link, he's a pretty neutral character, which makes him really flexible for stage picks. Which I think is something worth exploring. Other than that, I'll have a little write-up after this video. If there's any questions, let me know. And if there's anything I can clarify, message me. See ya.